Today I will try to speak about one of most important scenes inside rock, and speak about the progressive rock, the prog rock. And first of all, I have to make a difference between prog rock and progressive metal, prog metal. Of course, progressive metal, it took most of its influences from progressive rock, but this is something else. Now, if we speak about progressive rock, we will speak about bands that I like from progressive rock, only progressive rock, not progressive metal. For this reason, here we will not speak about Tool, and here we will not speak about Opeth, even that in the last four albums of Opeth they play even more prog rock and not progressive melody that they used to play before. So, first of all, we have to say that the most important scene inside prog rock was the scene of England, the English prog rock of the 70s. But not only. And here I will speak about some of the albums of prog rock that I am close to them. So first of all, for me, the most important progressive rock band in all the ages is of course Pink Floyd. And yes, Pink Floyd, they have many influences also from psychedelic rock. 1 minute before we will continue, what it plays in the stereo, if you can listen, is a Luvite from Switzerland in their second album Slania, and here they play a style of folk mellow death. Okay, now, so we speak about Pink Floyd, and first of all, let's speak about the album The Dark Side of the Moon of 1973, a great album of prog rock. But also I have to speak about the album Animals of 1977. And together with this, I will speak about The Wall of the Pink Floyd of 1979. And one also other great album of them, Wish You Were Here of 1975. Great albums. And now I'm continue with, if I said that the Pink Floyd, baby, for me, they are the most important prog rock from England. One of the most important prog rock English album I'm speaking now, is of course the album In the Court of the Crimson King of King Crimson that came out in 1969. A great album of prog rock, of progressive rock. Another important band, Yes, and here I will bring their third album, Close to the Edge of 1972. And together with this, I will speak also on of one of their later albums of them, of 1980. We speak about the album Drama, because this also was the first prog rock album that I listened in general. I will continue with Genesis, another great band from England of prog rock. Maybe afterwards they played even more pop rock and pop, but in the beginning they were progressive rock. Here we'll speak about Nursery Crime of 1971. So they're making a play of the words in this title of the album. And the great album, Selling England by the Pound of 1973. Another great also and special progressive rock band, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, ELP. ELP. First of all, here we'll speak about the album Tacos of 1971. great album, special album. And also about Brain Salad Surgery of 1973 with the cover of Giger, that we know his works from Celtic Frost, a great album also. Another band, prog rock, and they were they make a big influence to the new wave of British heavy metal, and especially to Metallica, to Iron Maiden, and I'm speaking about Camel. Camel and their first works, first of all, Camel of 1973, great album, and Mirage of 1974. And if we speak about Camel, we have to speak about another school inside the prog rock of England, from the place Canterbury, the Canterbury scene of prog rock. Speaking about the band Caravan, also they had the connection with Camel, and this their first album of 1968. Another also band from England, Gentle Giant, and their album Octopus of 1972. Great also album. Here also I could speak about one Greek famous prog rock band, Aphrodite's Child, but unfortunately I don't have. I have also some collections of them, not an album of them. And then continue now with a band from England. They are not exactly prog rock. They are one of the beginners of hard rock. But in this album we will speak now, yes, they had prog rock style and influences, and speak about The Who and their concept album Tommy of 1969. Another also band that they are even more hard rock, but they have some, in the beginning they had more progressive rock influences. And speak about Uriah Heep, about two albums of them. First of all, Look at Yourself of 1971, and their great album for me, Demons and Wizards of 1972, a great album. Another also band that they were a big influence to Iron Maiden, and also a great influence to epic metal. And speak about Wishbone Ass and their great album Argus of 1972. Also here they have influences of epic rock and progressive rock. Another now band from England that they played many styles. They played also jazz, they played also hard rock, and they played also pop. But here in this album they played even more progressive rock and art rock, and speak of course about Queen and their great album A Night at the Opera of 1975, with the great song Bohemian Rhapsody, but not only. And another also band from England that they played also prog, they played also a little bit folk, and speaking about Jethro Tull. And here we'll bring two albums of them. First of all, Agua Lang, if I'm preferred right, of 1971. And then also concept album Thick as a Brick of 1972. Also a great prog rock album. And another also band, also from England. Also they play a kind of heavy metal in the beginning of it. and they also they influence today many bands of occult rock. First, of course, they influenced also Ghost from Sweden, and I'm speaking about Blue Oyster Cult, B.O.C. Here we'll bring one of the latest albums of 1981, Fire of Unknown Origin. A great, great, great album. Also, they have here style of prog, of progressive rock, and here also they have a great, great song by the name Heavy Metal, the Black and Silver. And now I will continue with one band from Germany, a great progressive rock band with some psychedelic style. I'm speaking about Eloy and their great album Down of 1976. Great, great, great album. And now let's go to United States. From United States, first of all, we have Styx. And the Styx, in their albums, they have also prog rock influences and also art rock influences. Here we have the great album of The Grand Illusion of 1977. Also here they have a very, very good hard rock song, Miss America. A great, great album. Another American prog rock famous band, Kansas, and their great album, Left Overture of 1976. And now I'm continue with another also special band, special musician. I'm speaking about Frank Zappa. He made more than 63 albums in his life. And here we'll bring his second album of his band, Frank Zappa, Hot Rats. Hot Rats. Here also we have a very, very, he made an album of progressive rock together with the jazz influences. And now another also great band from Canada of prog rock, and of course I'm speaking about Rush. I will bring here some of the great works. First of all, the album 2112, let's say that like that, or 2112, a great also concept album of 1976. Another also album that I like very much from Rush, Fly By Night of 1975. And it was speaking even more about prog rock, Hemispheres of 1978. And at last but not least, Moving Pictures, one of their famous albums of 1981. With Tom Sawyer, a great, great also album of Rush. Until now, these prog rock bands, they were even more famous in the 70s, and maybe some of them they continued to the 80s, even after the punk rock came, and this was also the tombstone of prog rock for many, many years until in the 90s we had the prog metal because of bands as Dream Theater, Queen's Reich, Pain of Salvation, Symphony X, that they brought back the whole thing of prog, but in a metal even more influence. But there were also some great prog rock bands that they continue in the 80s, and they made their great works in the 80s, in the 90s, and they continue until now, some of them. First of all, I have to speak about Marillion and their great work, Misplaced Childhood of 1985. And in the speaking about Marillion, we have also to speak about their great album Brave of 1994. Also, if I'm not sure, this is a concept album. Another great band from United States of prog rock of today and speak about the band Spock's Bird and their 10th album of 2010. The album X, the Latin number of 10. And now, another also great band of prog rock from United States, the Mars Volta. Here we'll bring three works of them. First of all, their debut album, Delusion in the Comatorium of 2003, and the album Ambitexture, if I prefer it well, of 2006, also a great album, and also the Bedlam in Goliath of 2008. They were the works of my favorite prog rock bands and my favorite prog rock, progressive rock albums. So, from Israel and from Jerusalem, stay metal, stay rock, and stay heavy.